Welcome to 7 a.m. Code. Uh, so this is 1010. This is a project I'm trying to get put on the App Store. Simple little game named after the fact that it's on a grid by 10 by 10 squares. So here we are today is working on the theme picker. So here we have like different pieces. It can be different themes, like this little scary devil mask. We got little hearts and devil faces and stuff like that. And so I want to make this a nice UI. And you can change the way these work. Like so, say I have these smiley faces here, and say I want to change all those pieces to be the letter C. There you go. I changed them all to be the letter C. And then if I went back to save and play, you can see that these pieces are all now the letter C versus what they used to be. And the game's still completely playable. Now I want to actually play it. And you know, the goal of this game is to fill the row or column, either way. And it doesn't care. And you get bonuses if you for having lots of pieces be of the same type. So here I won't get the full bonus. So if I could stick a heart, the heart guy here, I'd get the full bonus. Maybe I can get one in the next round. So I'll do here. So those all cleared, and I got 14-point bonus. And let's go ahead and stick him there. And stick a sick guy there. Okay, I didn't get what I needed, but we'll go ahead and do that anyway. So I got an 18-point bonus instead of a 14-point bonus. I would have gotten a 20-point bonus, or I don't quite remember what I made the score, but I think it's like a 2x time bonus. They're all the same color, all the same piece. So yeah, you can see it's pretty basic. And there, I broke it. You can see this is still broken. I had a streak of at least 9 with the little heart face guys. So that's broken. And yeah, go back so you can see what it was. And so let's change this back to an emoji. So on desktop, to do emoji, you have to open up the emoji picker, or which is Control Command Space on a Mac. We'll put that back. Oh, I got 2 of those, so that's a bug too. So I don't know if it's a bug at the moment because I have 2 of these heart guys, and my code will see these as 2 different colors. Because the code's really checking what the block color is. And there are 6 possible colors, so 6. If you make the colors displays the same symbol, like these little hearts, you can do that, but it's going to be really confusing when you play. And so I need to figure out a way to solve that problem. And part of my thing is I think if a player wants to do this, that should be fine, but they should count as the same piece. Like if I'm a user and I go, I don't like 6 pieces. 6 pieces is too hard. I should be able to go, okay, I'm going to make 3 of the pieces all the same sprite, and it should work. I think that would be a good user expectation and a good way for the user to interact with it. But for now, it just was really confusing and broken. It's not a priority bug. So we'll go ahead and change this to aww. You have to have it selected. There we go. Aww. Change him to that. And these little devil guys are going to become party hats. Cool. So you can see the basic picker. You can see here, it immediately updates. There's my little party guys, my little awe guys, right? Changing I created native web components for these, so changing them is an instantaneous thing. And that's because the code that actually the CSS that decides how they're displayed is put right in here with it. Oh, I thought it was. Forget my code here. So here's the style block. Oh yeah, because the browser's going to yank it out. So I got the I have a UL list with a bunch of LIs in it. here's all my LIs. Oh, there's my style block. And then the style block. And so this is what defines color red is party hat, color blue is the getting love, green is sick face, orange is lovey eyes, purple is the devil, and yellow is awe, right? Or whimper, or whatever that is. And so when you change it, so here I have like all that. So let's say I change Mr. Devil. And so Mr. Devil, let's go ahead and give him smiling with glasses. And you see that flash of purple was the DOM updating. And so what it is, recreate, so you can see he's got the content with the sunglasses. So the CSS was all changed to one block, and all of the rendering was changed in one paint. Okay, so enough technical and enough like what's happening behind the scenes. Let's actually like make this look nice, because that's my goal today. This is all kind of cluttered. Last night I got these pieces to render. It used to just show one, but it's all kind of jumbled and cluttered, and we got some space here to work with because our target device is an iPhone X. So let's see if we can do some CSS to make this look nicer. I also want to hide these inputs here because that's super ugly. You should be able to just tap or click on the piece, and if you're on mobile, that should open up your keyboard and allow you to pick a different piece. On desktop, I'm not entirely sure. We'll figure it out. Okay, so first let's just hide these inputs. So if we go over to Picker Emoji CSS, so CSS for this is really simple, right? We have Picker Emoji, the input is 3 wide. That's probably, oh yeah, you can see here. So we go here, input emoji, and 3 wide. There's our matching CSS. If we're gonna hide it, oh, that's why it's 3 wide. I was like, why did we do that? We used to have an input none. So if we do the input none back, yeah, it doesn't matter what that is if we're not displaying it. Cool. So can we still change emoji? Let's go. Oh, because it won't work. See, it doesn't work. It doesn't work because even though I've hidden the input, which is awesome, but it's not getting focus, which is what we actually need to get that captured input. And so what needs to happen is when you click on this is I need to trigger that input focus. But this is the style we want, right? We just don't want those little inputs to show because the user's going to see this. And we also want this to kind of look nicer because it's all crammed in there. We've got all of this room. Maybe a 2x3. Oh yeah, we do a 2x3 grid. Okay, so let's just do that. We'll worry about the input of it later. So go. So list item input. You can see our list items of with 30% right now, which we won't need this because so right now we're doing display flex with a wrap, and that's why it's wrapping down here. Let me go back. So there we go. Our inputs are gone because our code reloaded. The CSS doesn't. I'm just doing straight up CSS here, which is amazing. So if you do straight up CSS, you don't need anything to reload except the page, right? Import, this is all just pure regular CSS. So that's why I didn't have to like run a process or anything. I just refreshed the page and it just worked, right? I don't have a preprocessor I gotta do. Amazing. So now we got that displaying that. But yeah, let's try a little grid, right? Because I have this like list. List is okay, but it doesn't really fit the what we want. And we're on to this UL. I think that was just because of what I had before. So I don't want this UL anymore. Do I? No, I don't think so. Well, I guess it doesn't. Does it? It doesn't hurt anything to stay in the UL, and we can just override the style. It just doesn't look right to another engineer coming in, and that is my concern with it. Is another engineer would be like, "What? What is this? Why is this all weird? So let's do it anyway. Let's type none. Yeah, so okay, that was our flex stuff, and that's to override our the fact that we're using a list instead of divs or something. I feel like I'm back at Salesforce doing everything on lists again. Okay, so we want display grid, right? And grid template, columns and rows. So the grid template lets you basically tell it what you want your grid to look like. And so columns, what we want is we said we wanted columns that are 2 items wide. How wide? 30 view. So we're going to have so if I want 2 30 view wide, do it like that, right? Cool. You can also do repeat, which is what I usually do. Repeat. And I can say I want 2, and then what do I want you to repeat? 30 VW, 30 view width. And then grid template row, right? And we want to do our repeat again. And this time we want 3 of them, and we also want them to be 30 view width. I could use a CSS variable here, or whatever I want. For the moment, since I'm just prototyping, I'm just doing a hardcode 30 because that's what I have here, right? And I won't need that because I'm specifying, with the grid, I'm specifying the grid size. So if it takes up 1 grid block, it's going to be 30 by 30. If it takes up 2 grid blocks, it's going to be 60 by 30. If it takes up 4, it'll be 60 by 60, right? So let's go ahead and refresh. And pop, there we go. So now we can see we have 2 columns and by 3 rows, which is exactly what we wanted. Look at that. Beautiful. So it's still kind of all like scrunched up, right? And so, of course, grid gives us all sorts of cool stuff. Grid gap, let's say 10 pixels, right? If I did grid, you can see what happened there. When I highlight it, it's easier to see because you can see that gap has been brought in. How big is our actual, so we tell it, right? If I toggle back on this 30 view width, nothing happens because it's already 30 view width. Here's our thing, 30%. So 30 VW is 30% of the total view width, this width we have. So on here, it's 375 pixels when you're at 2.5 pixel density. 2 pixel density. Oh, there you go. 3 pixel density. DPI? Dots per, I don't know. But anyway. So our grid gap can give us this little spacing. Is that enough? That's not enough spacing. Let's go ahead and try to get some more. So let's go 1 EM. 1 EM is much nicer. 2 EM. 2 EM is even better. I like that. What happens if we do 2 EM and we switch to iPad? Not bad. It's not perfect, but a hell of a lot better than what it was. iPad Pro. Yep, we're still okay. What about the Galaxy S5? Beautiful, beautiful. Pixel. Nice. And so this is why I love EMs, right? EMs are, I think, EMs are like almost, EMs, well, okay. You have like view width and view height. They're like legend. And EMs are the next best thing because you can scale. And being able to scale is a fundamental web design because we don't have a standard dimension. We have a set of sort of people follow dimensions. And so being able to scale is hugely important. And so here, we tested all these different sizes. 2EM looks great. Let's go ahead and commit that. Grid gap, 2EM. Nice. Refresh. Oh, beautiful, beautiful. I kind of want something behind it though. Like, I kind of want like a border or something to make it stand out. Like, I see these things, but they don't look like pieces to me. They look like they're just kind of like sitting there, like display. There's nothing as a user telling me I can click or tap these. I might try it because, I need to do something. I got to the screen. What's going to happen, right? So I may discover it, but I could make it a little bit more visual, I think, that this is something I want. So, border, then solid red. So what I want to do is just stick some borders on the item so I can kind of get an idea, the feel. So I can kind of get a feel for how I can make these look more like touchable, clickable, tappable things. Right, they're really flat. And so we can see we're not aligned center inside our content. Yeah, grid. It's not centered, which is fine. We can fix that. Display flex. Line items. No. Just for content. Center. So there we go. Now we're centered. Yeah, look at that. All of our items are semi-centered. Let's go ahead and commit that because we don't want to lose that anymore. So here, it's one of my favorite things about the flex is I just wanted to center the stuff and center. I only have one item, right? But I may have multiple. But I want to center whatever it is, however many items I have. I want them to be centered in the parent. So I want the children, however big or whatever. I don't care how big they are. I just want them to appear centered inside of my parent. And so flex lets you just do that. And bam. Oh, I want to put that border back on just while I figure out what I want to do. Yeah, cool. So centered, and then again, you saw that hot, what people might call hot reloading or whatever. It's like, it's just standard CSS. CSS supports all that fun stuff just by being CSS. CSS is pretty awesome if you take the time to learn it. Okay, so now we have our little list items. Cool. How can I can make the background like white. Background color. Right, so that kind of makes it pop a little bit more. Could also do like a box shadow or something. Box shadow. It's 1 pixel by 1 pixel by 3 pixels and gray. Although I don't know if that really does much. Like you can see the box shadow better if I take off the border and stuff. You can see it better. Does that really help? The idea is here. Spread out that blur a little bit more. See, if I do that blur like super big, you almost get like kind of this glow, which is kind of cool actually. It's like, ooh, that is. I wonder if that glow worked. Yeah, actually, I kind of like that glow. It's not what I want, but I kind of like it anyway. And if I spread it out more. Nice spread. High glow. Let's see. I can kind of move it over here. Yeah, it's. I don't know. It still doesn't seem quite right. You know? I just don't like the look. Even with the, I think I could shadow this all day long and I would not like the look any better. I mean, it just looks like these 6 big chunks. I mean, it looks like something from the 90s. Let's try this again. I don't like it. Okay. Here we go. So we have our little items. What if we changed the grid's background? what if I made the background behind the pieces themselves white? That way I kept the shape of the piece. Because I think the thing I didn't like about the big box was I really lost the shape of the piece. The piece itself just, became it became a box with an odd shape inside of it, and that's not what I want. So let's try this new method. Let's try making the background of the individual squares different. Then maybe I can shadow it or something. Who knows? Okay. So we need grid 2D and first children. So we go picker emoji, grid 2D, and just direct descendants. Background color. Okay, so we see the grid that makes up the thing, which is cool. Cool. Although I don't think I want the invisible ones. So the ones that are empty, we need to override that to be none. So easy peasy. Thanks to the wonderful magic of CSS. What is that class called? Color empty. Because I use none, which is not valid. Autos unset. That's what I want. I laugh, but none's a pretty good guess in CSS. A lot of things take none as an option. Ta-da! There we go. We got the individual pieces. Let's take off that ugly border. Okay. I don't know that I like that any better, to be honest. Right? Yeah, I don't know that I like that any better. What if we do a shadow behind it? Box shadow. Box shadow. Robots and boxes in disguise. Well, that doesn't quite look like I might have hoped. Okay. This is how cool I love you can do this. Maybe, actually, if I get rid of the one on the empty pieces. Let's try that. Shadow. Unset or none? I'm thinking it's going to be none, but I'm trying unset because none didn't work last time. It was a different context. So. Perfect. Nice, it worked. Look at that. See, so my box shadow kind of sucks, but that looks better because they look like the piece is popping out of the screen now, versus like having that big like chunky block. When it was just that big block and the block didn't fit the shape of the pieces, it felt more like it wasn't a piece you were doing. It was more like a frame displaying an image or something. Here, we got that box shadow. I think that's we can totally sand that out and make that look a little bit nicer. We might have something passable for now, at least. Not bad for 7 a.m. coding, right? Yeah, that's not bad at all. Maybe tomorrow when I look at it again, I'll hate it, but just kind of play with this a little bit. That color is not great. Let's, I almost think we need an alpha transparency in that color. Just go ahead and try AA. Let's try CC. If you're asking if I know what the alpha value of AA is or CC is, I do not. I am literally just guessing. I know hex, right? Hex is 0 through F, so F's towards F16. And with the alpha transparency, F would be 1 and 0 would be off, right? Because alpha is 0 to 1. So it's somewhere near 1. C is closer to F than A is. I could also do like 1, 1, right? 9, 9. Ooh, 9, 9 actually isn't that bad. Okay, good. It's just a guess. Yeah, but it makes it look a lot more subtle. 2, 2 with a blur of 2. Kind of almost like a blur of 6. Let's go ahead and copy that. I'm going to switch the blur back to 2. Because I think 2 is probably better. Let me try 6 again. Oops. And honestly, I can't tell the difference between refreshes. I'd have to look side by side. So 6 it is. Cool. You know, you can't drag and move these. Maybe you should be able to. Or, because, you know, here we have something where the pieces are the way desktop and mobile work are different, you know. I've been kind of going around it by having that input, which, you know, both devices can accept an input field and show a keyboard. But there's, if we're, you know, because this is a mobile first, this is supposed to be for the iPhone, primarily. And so if, since it's mobile first, there are some different ways we could do this interaction. It doesn't have to necessarily be like a keyboard showing up. You could have like a picker that shows a bunch of emojis, and you could like pick one. You could have a thing where you could like, you drop pieces onto a thing and it replaces it when you drop it. Like, there's a lot of unexplored territory on how we could interact with these pieces and change them, versus just the generic show the keyboard and let the user pick an emoji or a character. The user could, you know, there's more in there. And as this game expands, because of course it was designed to support emojis, weren't the first thing it supported, right? The original ones were blocks were SVG images. So I still have that support for SVG images like that. And in that case, the keyboard obviously is not going to work, because the keyboard's not going to display a bunch of SVGs for you to pick from. And so I think tomorrow, or tonight, really tonight's session, is going to be, let's just see if we can get the keyboard working again, especially mobile. So this is going to be important that this works on mobile. And we can get that emoji changing back. We know the code for the changing emoji works. We tested that before we started this, but as I click around here, you can see I don't get the keyboard or anything popped up anymore because we've hidden that input. So next time we will get the picker working again. The code works, it's just visually not showing. All right, thank you for 7 a.m. code. Hope you enjoyed this. Have a wonderful morning. Goodbye.